Introducing. Hey, everyone. Welcome to Introducing the Podcast. And I am so grateful that you are here in the building. Y'all come on in, come on in. Hey, there you is. The peoples is here. Y'all are here. Hello, people. I love you guys. I am grateful for you for being here present with me in this moment. Trust and believe me, I am very excited. I am your girl, Smart Video Girl. You have tuned into Introducing Podcasts, right? Where we're talking about new ways of thinking and new ways of being. All right. That's what we do here on Introducing Podcasts. And today's show, we have a great show. Today's show, we're going to be talking about awareness. Now, I am an authenticity coach. I want people to know that. An authenticity coach. I empower people to help them think and live better lives, to show up as your most authentic self, as the way you were created by the ultimate creator, the most high God, universe, however you want to say. When they put up all the potions together and they made you, it's called authenticity, and they served it up as you. And I'm your coach to help you do that. And the first step, and I've been saying this for a very long time, is awareness, because you cannot change what you cannot see. You cannot grow what you know. Okay? You can't grow what you don't know. And you can't grow if you're not aware of where you need to grow, where you're bearing. So today's show, we're going to be talking about it. We're going to be talking about awareness, okay? How to be aware so that you can make informed decisions. You can observe yourself, and then you can have compassion for yourself. But you got to learn how to grow, and the first step is awareness. So let's get into it. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let me know where you are, where you're calling, or where you're from, where you're watching. If you're watching now or if you're watching later, put it in the chat, because we're going to get into it. And make sure, pen, journal, grab it now. Those are your instructions. So shout out to Miss Sharon Parker. She's in the building. Thank you for joining me today. And Pronoia Starseed Podcast, aka Bestie. How you doing? How you doing? Thank you again for being here. So awareness. I did that so that you can get your pens and paper, because we're going to get into it. Y'all know I don't waste no time getting to it. All right. So awareness is where the journey begins. We start at the top. And what does watching me from Venus? I know that's right. Where does this journey to authenticity starts with awareness? Okay. Awareness is where the journey begins. Before you can grow, heal, or align, you have to be aware of how you're showing up. You have to be aware of what you're thinking. You have to be aware of these things. And a lot of times we can see other things, but we can't see ourselves clearly. Okay. And the reality is, if you can see other things, then you probably can see yourself clearly as well, but you just don't realize that it's a reflection of yourself. But we're going to get into all of that. We're going to get into all of that. So, what is awareness and what it is not? What is awareness and what it is not? Awareness is the ability to observe without immediately reacting. It is the ability to, when you go to a museum per se, and you stare and you become aware of the intricacies of the painting. You may see a brushstroke, or if you're paying attention, if you're really aware and present, you may see a brushstroke. You may see how they blended the colors. You may see something different. If you study a photo, you may see something different. You may become aware of the things that are in the photo, but you only do that because you are observing. You have to look with an eye. Okay. So awareness is the ability to observe without immediate reaction. Okay. And you're going to notice your thoughts, You're going to notice your feelings. You're going to notice your patterns. Like, what habits are you doing? You can notice that's an awareness. You're aware of the habits that you have. You have to slow down, be present in order to do that. So that's what we're talking about today. Okay. And you're going to do that in real time. You're going to be aware of the choices that you make immediately, like, without reacting. This is like a skill. This is like practicing karate. And you have to practice this thing called awareness. All right. You cannot change what you see, and you shouldn't judge it. All right. The key here is just to be aware. That's it. It is not to judge it. It's not to try to change it. We're just talking about collection of data right now. We are collecting data on you. You are collecting data on you. You now are becoming the observer of your life. You are now becoming the person who is saying, "Oh, this is what this person does when they're mad." Boom. This is what this person does when they're sad. Boom. Oh, this makes this person really mad. Boom. You discover the triggers, but you're looking at yourself, right? And a lot of times we don't take the time to do that introspective work. But those are the things that's the foundation that will allow you to do the other things that we've been talking about here on this podcast. So, season 3 has been all about really diving deep into authenticity. As an authenticity coach, that's what my focus is for this season. And we started off with what resonates with you. But you only know what resonates if you are aware of yourself, right? You can only set strong pillars for you that are based on you if you are aware of what is important to you. You can only set boundaries, and of course, you can work on your goals and have discipline, but you have to be aware of those things. So again, awareness is key. It was the first my list of A words, because nothing starts without the awareness. We can't shift anything. We can't move. We can't do anything until we have the awareness. All right. And so awareness is not judgment. What did I say? I said awareness is not judgment. All right. It's not judgment. It's observation and curiosity. Curiosity, smart video girls. Curiosity? Yes, curiosity. And in this case, curiosity leads to authenticity, because you are interested in finding out who you really are. It didn't kill the cat. No, not today. It didn't kill the cat. Curiosity did not kill the cat. Exactly. Actually, it is what inspires authenticity, the journey to authenticity, because you want to know who you were made to be. Who wants to know who they were made to be? Raise your hand. And all the clues are within you. All the clues of who you were meant to be, what your purpose, is all in you. And you, human, have to step out and become the observer of your behavior, but not to judge, but to observe. Right? All right. I'm just saying, this is really exciting. I'm excited. I hope my notepad I hope your notes are like rolling right now. All right. So, and with this being said, what we want to do is we want to ask ourselves a question. We want to ask ourselves a question. And the question we want to ask is, what am I doing and why? And am I choosing this? This is key. Am I choosing this? Or am I repeating something familiar? Is this a choice, a conscious choice? Or is this a learned behavior, habit, reaction? What pile are you in? Okay. And then that's where you can decide. So, because then you can say, is this working for me? It's not. We got a whole lot of stuff, but you first have to ask yourself a question. The awareness and the judgment, the only judgment that you're having is, and it's not even a judgment, it's an observation. Am I choosing this, or is this a reaction? Choice or reaction? Okay. These are important things, because in order for you to be intentional about being your authentic self. You have to be able to be in control of your choices, and you can only do that if you're aware of whether or not you're operating off of habit, or if you are actually operating consciously and making decisions for your life that best align with who you are. Okay. All right. So let's see. Cortland Jones says, I notice being more aware as I am more present. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Ms. Sharon Parker said, the ability to observe without immediately reacting. She's taking notes. I'm just saying, hashtag love it. I love that. I love that. And let's see. Patricia Glenn said, for me, it's important to become aware of what I think is God's will for me through prayer and meditation. Okay. And listen, God's will for us is kind of already planted in us. It's already planted. You got to find it. It's already in you. I'll just say that. It's already in you. God's will and plan for you is already in you. You can't control other things, but what he has planned for Patricia, it's already done. And it's already in you. And it's you as the observer can now go in to discover who he created you to be and find out what that will is that God would have you be. But be aware of it, okay? And it will tell you. It's the intuition. It's all the things we've kind of been chatting about. So lovely here on this show. All right. So again, awareness is not judgment. It's observation and curiosity. All right. And it did not kill the cat. It leads to authenticity. Don't forget that. All right. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. All right. So the key in this, right? This is going to be the part. The key in this, what is this? Does it say? Oh, can you say clearly? So can you see clearly? Are you seeing clearly? And that's what I was saying earlier. You also have to be honest what you're seeing. Okay? Because again, it's not about judging it. It's about being honest about what it is, because you can only deal with it if you're honest about what it is. Honesty and clarity. Okay? Honesty and clarity. And when you awareness leads to that clarity, that's where we're going. Okay. But be honest about where you see yourself. Like, where are you right now? If you have a problem, and correct me if I'm wrong, for people who have been in NA and AA and things of that sort, but it's a thing of you can't overcome an addiction unless you realize, or unless you admit that you have an addiction. What are you overcoming? If you're not an addict, how do you overcome it? Oh, I'm just saying. That's just a question I had to ask. All right. Yes. But and we're looking for reactions, thoughts, habits, energy shifts. Like if you know, that's a good one. If you walk into a place and the energy shifts, there's a shift in the energy, you feel some kind of way, notice that, because that may be where you're not supposed to be. You are not supposed to be in that space, maybe, or maybe you are supposed to be in a space, but you're energetically, you could feel that shift, and you can become aware of it. That is something, I know you several times, you may have walked into a room and you can feel the energy shift. Be aware of that, because what is that telling you? What is it saying? It is a sign. Read them all. Read all the signs. Read them all, because that's the only way you're going to get to authenticity, by reading all the signs. All right. So, and once you do all of this, then you really have to look at, let's say, what the truth of the matter. All right. So we have decided that we're not making judgment, but we're being honest, right? And if we're being honest with ourselves, then we can look at some of the actions and behaviors and the thoughts that we do have, and we can see how they are playing out in our lives, right? So awareness, pause on purpose, because I need to stop and breathe and take it all in. these things that you are observing about yourself. This is a process. This is a cycle, and it repeats itself. It's like a rinse and repeat. So you're going to constantly go through this awareness process. You're constantly in the information gathering stage of your growth towards authenticity, because you're always going to be moving, you're always growing. And so you want to always make sure that you are in alignment with who you are aiming to be, which is your authentic self. And to do that, you have to be aware, pause, because that's where you have to process what you just observed, right? Again, asking yourself those questions. Is this out of habit, or is this aligned with me? Because what happens once you become aware, self-sabotage is what happens when you know, right? Knowing that this is not working for you, you continue to do that action or that behavior. That's self-sabotage. It's the result of not being aware of yourself. I say self-sabotage is not necessarily not being aware of yourself, but not taking action once you have realized that you are doing something that is out of alignment with who you are. That's self-sabotage. Okay. That is self-sabotage. So I want you guys to understand that self-sabotage happens once you become aware, you've gathered all the information, and then you still proceed to do the thing that is not in alignment. And we do that a lot. All right. So again, because we judge ourselves. So let's stop with the judgment. Let's not be so judgy. All right. Let's have a little more love and compassion for ourselves as we have for one another, and that is the key in this particular section of when we're talking about awareness, is that ability to have compassion for yourself. The honesty and the compassion, right? The honesty and the compassion go together, because you have to be very honest with how you are showing up. And sometimes you may not like it. You know what I'm saying? You may not like it, but it's not for you to like. It's for you to be aware of and to make conscious decisions, so you can make a different choice now. Because if you don't like it, if you don't like something, you change it, right? Okay. If you don't like something, you change it. All right. Awareness isn't about shame. It's about clarity. Clarity and compassion. Those are my C words that go with the A word, awareness. All right. I hope you're taking your notes. All right. Take your notes. And a good way to track this is to journal. Get you a notebook or something. And you know how they say that habits are created over a certain amount of time. But this is, you can notice your habits if you practice being aware of your habits. You can see what habits are actually working for you, which ones are not. If you develop a habit of being aware of your thoughts and actions with the pause, your feelings, and your energy shifts, then you can notice. You can be more present when you are and Corlin said this, when you are being aware. It's almost like the Matrix, when old boy was dodging the bullets and he was doing it. That is awareness. That is awareness in a sense. It's the ability to almost like pause and to see each step, to see how you're showing up, to see the word choice, to see the thought process, to see what you're doing, to see how you're doing it. So, oh, why did I do that? Oh, well, when they did that, why did I do that? Why did I do that? And it may be something, and the reason you have to have compassion, because it could be your inner child that is acting out in that moment. And who wants to scream at their inner child? Not me. I want to love my inner child. I don't, my inner child is acting out of maybe trauma response or habit, right? But I'm not even aware that the little girl is running rampant and running my life, right? because I didn't stop to pay attention to the triggers and the habits and the words. But once I pause, then I can pause and I can say, hey, baby girl, listen, I understand that you are upset and that when Johnny told you that's not his problem, it triggered you. It made you feel unseen. It made you feel unworthy. It made you feel some kind of way. It made you feel abandoned, right? You don't have to feel like that. I'm here for you. Love yourself. Compassion, right? Compassion. But you have to do that. You have to be able to sit with yourself. And sometimes that can be very, 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 very uncomfortable for people. Okay. Being aware it's not a comfort zone situation, because again, it's a revealing. It's almost like being naked in the middle of Times Square or something like that. Because you're going to be exposed to yourself, and you're going to see, because you can't really, when you really look at yourself, you won't be able to hide from yourself, because you'll be able to see everything, but you have to be aware. Awareness is the key. Okay. Journal. Yes. Hey, Tobal, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate you all for being in the building. You guys are superstars. I just want you to know that. You are superstars because you want to grow, and you're not here for me. I just want to be clear. You are here for you. And if you are here for me, I appreciate you. But I hope that along the way that you do get something for you, because that's really what I am here for. And that's why I'm super excited about this season. Oh my gosh. I'm so I'm so excited. I'm just over the moon and through the stars. Today was my sister's birthday. I want to digress for a second, and I'm gonna come back to it. Again, we're talking about being aware, right? We're talking about being aware and awareness, self-awareness. We're talking about self-awareness. Now, I'm not talking so and I want to be clear. A lot of the things that I talk about here on this show, I'm talking about self. So when we talk about awareness, I'm not talking about you being aware of your environment. We're constantly aware of our environment. We neglect our inner. And so that's what the focus is the focus is on your inner world in order for you to see and manifest the authentic you that you are supposed to be. But we're talking about self-awareness today. Talk about being aware of you. And today was my sister's birthday, and we went to breakfast this morning, and it was so funny. The people, we went to Cracker Barrel, and the people came out and they were like, "We have a very special birthday today." And she looking around like, whose birthday is it? Girl, it's your birthday. It's your birthday. She didn't. They was walking to the table and everything. She was totally oblivious. She forgot it was her birthday. She said, "Oh, somebody else. It's your birthday. We just told the lady it's your birthday, girl." So I thought that was very funny because she was present with us, and so it totally went over her head that it was a birthday celebration. So shout out to my sister. Happy birthday. I love you. Okay. I just wanted to say that. I don't wanted to say that. All right, so let's get back to it. So I got a formula. And you guys know I love Smart Video Girl. That's my name. Math is my background. Life is a formula. Life is a formula. You can work it out. Okay? It's not a whole lot to it, but you can work it out. Okay, awareness plus alignment equals authenticity. Awareness first, because you can't be in alignment unless you're aware of what you're supposed to be in alignment with. Okay, all that comes from within. So awareness, alignment equals authenticity. All right, write that down. It's all the A's. You see those A's? I love A's. All right. So pay attention to your patterns, habits, reactions. All right. Awareness allows you to pause before spiraling into self-sabotage, which we said before. And the power of pause. I'm telling you, the power of the pause is it. Because I am a firecracker. I'm aware of myself. Oh, I'm gonna get to that in a minute. I'm a very aware person. And in my awareness, I realize that sometimes I disclose too much, and sometimes people use that against me. I've been that has I have been that has happened to me. Um, but yet and still, I understand that my ability to not only be aware of myself, but to also communicate that in the form of boundaries and pillars, um, in the way that I show up is what allows me to be able to see the things that are not for me. Like this, if I'm triggered by something, if I know why I'm triggered. I know I'm triggered, and it's very important, especially like if you're in relationships, sometimes to understand what your triggers are and to be able to communicate them. Um, I think it's very healthy in relationship to be able to say, "Hey, this bothered me," and bam, but you are aware. And it's not only that you know what it is, but you also know why, and you kind of know how to help your partner. Because a lot of people are like, well, what you want me to do about it? I can help you. Let me help you. Let me help you. So being aware of yourself, you become aware of yourself. You allow yourself to be open. You help other people learn you as well. So you be able to communicate that. All right. All right. Yes. Cause this is a good one. An example is I used to, and I'm working on it. Practicing awareness. I know I was an overcommitter because I had people pleasing issues, right? So I was overcommit to everything. I would say yes to everything. Yes, 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 yes. I try to show up to everything. I try to be there for everybody. And then I realized that and then I would crash, and then I would be resentful. And we talked about that. Only if it resonates. Um, I had to realize I had to be aware of my crash out routine. It's like, girl, you say yes too much. You have to say no. You have to use your boundaries and say no. And when you say no, you allow yourself the freedom. That's a pillar of mine. You allow yourself the freedom to move, to not be stressed out, to pause, right, and reflect, and to make room for the things that you really want to do. Hmm. Yeah. So yeah. Authenticity plus alignment. I mean, sorry, awareness plus alignment equals authenticity. You know, it all works out. And right, when you're aligned and you're authentic, then you're aware. Cause see, oh, I'm a math person. So however you work this out, it's gonna work out. A plus A equals A. That's the formula. A plus A equals A. All right. The more you know yourself, the easier for the easier it is for you to make aligned decisions, right? Duh, I just gave you an example. The more aware you are, it's easier to make aligned decisions that align with your pillars, that align with your boundaries, that type of thing. Awareness makes it possible to honor your boundaries, needs, and purpose. All right. And it's not about perfection, it's about presence. And that has already been said here tonight. That presence is the gift that comes from being aware. You are present. And people may notice it too. It's like you show up differently because you take the time. You may show up calmer because you're not just you may have a calmer energy because you're able to slow down the hamster wheel or the treadmill that you're on and be aware of what is happening and make informed decisions. And so you don't feel rushed through life, but you feel more able to be present and to flow with it. Okay. You want to be able to flow in life. And that is to be present, right? To be present, to Be aware to observe. If you are an observer, if you go to the aquarium and you observe the fish, you're gonna watch them. You're gonna watch them swim around. You're gonna watch them interact. You're gonna watch the ones that's chilling over there, sitting. You're gonna watch the little fish that wanna swim real fast, or the penguins, right? Because I went to the aquarium and there was penguins, and some of the penguins was chilling, they was laying out, and some of the penguins was swimming in the water, and some of the penguins you thought they was a statue, but like, what's going on with them? But I was able to observe the whole tank, right? And there was so much going on. This is the ecosystem of you. There is so much going on. There's so many thoughts, there's feelings, there's all these things. And so to be able to step outside yourself and observe, right? That's a true gift. Is to be present in the now, right? To be present in the now. Shout out to the birthday girl who's in the building. Boop, 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 boop. I don't know if you heard your story, but yes. So Tobal said we all need more compassion. We do need more compassion. We all need more compassion for ourselves and so if this is what I realized, and I'm gonna say this as part of my observation and my journey, is that I judge myself a lot. And the realization came when I realized how much I was judging other people or judging other things, right? Then I realized it's the reflection thing. It was like, so as within, so without. These are laws. They're universal and they go across the board. They apply to you. They apply to everything. I was realizing that it was almost like this projection. I was projecting this judgment on other people, but whatever you do outside, you also do within, right? How you do one thing is how you do everything. That's what they say. So I was judging other people, and then I had to realize that as much as I was judging other people, I was giving myself the business on the low. I was giving myself the business on the low. I was judging everything I did. And so once I became aware of that, I was able to be present on how I was judging situations, people, circumstances, everything. It changed my life. Changed my life forever. It made me really appreciate my own personal journey for where I was at and what I was going through at that time. Okay. I thought I had a story that I wanted to share, but it slipped my mind. If it comes back, I will share it. So again, mindful of how you are being present, not perfection. We have said this several times here on this show. We are not striving for perfection. We are not doing that. We are not doing that. Not today. We're not doing that. There is no perfection, but there's presence. We're going to be present in it all. All right, so I hope you guys have your journals out because we got some journal prompts. This is coming through for you about this topic of awareness. All right, so let's start here. So the first one is, what is one habit I often repeat without thinking that no longer supports the vision of myself I'm becoming? All right. What's one habit that you repeat often? And this can come, again, put on your scientific hats. Let's get the scientific method going on. I am a teacher by nature. I homeschool. So we're talking about science now. I'm not talking about math and science, talking about life. We're talking about life, but you learn these skills. So anytime somebody asks you how I'm going to use this, tell them it works for life. Tell them it works for life. Just tell them it works for life. Tell them to call me. All right. Put on your science hats. You're going to become observers and you're going to find out what is one habit that I often repeat without thinking that no longer serves me. hmm And when I do notice this habit when do I notice this habit showing up the most? Okay. When do I notice this habit showing up in the most? Again, that's the energy shift, right? These are the things that you need to become aware of so that you can make those changes. What am I doing? What am I doing? And um the thoughts and the feelings are the ones that are very, 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 very tricky to find. And that's why journaling is important, because journaling will help you kind of keep a track record of what you're thinking or what you're feeling. And then if you go back, then it does require you to go back and look at it from time to time and maybe read your journal entries. But if you're consistent, you can see it. You can see it. All right. So when do you notice this habit showing up the most? That's what I want you to do. All right. We got some here. And please feel free. If you would like to share, please feel free. One habit I have is trying to be the fixer. Yes. 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 So what's the habit that you often repeat when you see yourself trying to be the fixer? What is it that you do? All right. What is it? Where is that coming from? Is it yours? Is it learned? Are you and are you a fixer? You may be somewhat of a fixer. But if it doesn't serve you, then that means it's out of alignment with who you are. And that's why it's important, because there is no one size fits all here. You have to literally analyze it. Use your analytical skills. All right. Okay. Cortland Jones, his worry was the habit. And when I saw it, I learned to stop. What was the key? What helped you stop, though? I would like to know that. What helped you stop that? All right. And then the next, we have more journal prompts. There's lots of journal prompts for you this time, because awareness is one of those things that you're constantly going to be doing. Okay. What emotion or thought usually comes right before it? What happens right before you want to fix something? For my fixer, for my worrier, what happened right before that? Or emotion or thought that you were like, oh, because that's the trigger. We don't know what triggers is. You got to know your triggers. You have to know your triggers. All right. And what is one small aligned shift I can make the next time I noticed it happening? Again, Cortland, that's why I asked you, what helped you shift that? Like, how did you shift it when you noticed that, okay, I'm a worrier. Oh, this is what happens when I start to worry. And so the next time when I worry, I'm going to do this. Because you have to go through all of that in order to go from the observation to making a conscious choice that is in alignment with you. Okay. I hope you guys like science. That's all I have to say. Worry was a choice. You're saying worry was a choice. Most things are out of my control. Mostly things out of my control. So mostly things that's a lot of us. A lot of us have control issues. I have control issues. I'm still working on mine. I'm still working on my control issues. So my question to myself is like, okay, so what is it, knowing that inner world, right? Outer world is a reflection of inner world, right? So if I have control issues, I'm trying to control things outside of myself. So what does that say about me? Is that saying that I don't have control over myself? And you have to dig deep. What does that mean? If I want to control other people or control situations or things, what does that say about me? What am I lacking control of myself? Do I lack? Maybe you do. Who knows? Right? Kim said, when I fix it, I feel anxious. Should I be doing this? Right. So you realize that you're the fixer and you're fixing things, and then you're like, well, should I even be fixing this? Should I even be involved in this in the first place? Right. That's the awareness, right? And then you have to figure out if it's serving you. Is it aligned? Or Corlin said, too focused on the future. Yes, future focus can always be an issue for people when you are because you're not present. If you're future focused, or if you're focused on the past, you're not present, because you can't be two places at the same time. You can't be here and there. You can only be one place at a time. And the best place is to be present in yourself. All right. So those are your journal prompts for this week. Again, it is a lot of information. We're talking about being aware, right? It starts with awareness, seeing yourself clearly. Can you see yourself clearly? All right. If you had a crystal ball, no pun intended. If you had a crystal ball that lets you look inside you, could you see yourself clearly without judgment, with compassion, right? With the goal of alignment for who you are, who you were created to be, your authentic self. Okay. So here's what I want you to remember. Okay. Awareness is not just the first step, it is a daily practice. It's not the first step, it is the daily practice. It is a all day, every day practice. Because to be aware is to be present, as we said, and presence, not perfection. Right? If you stumble and fall, it's better than to have never fallen at all. Because if you stumble and fall, guess what? Now you know that the rock is in the middle of the road. So next time you come through that path, guess what you're going to do? Step over it. Because you fell last time and you said, not today. I'm not falling today. Today, I'm going to step over that. I'm present. But you know what? If you're busy worrying, right? Trying to fix other people and other things, right? Judging other people, right? You're going to trip over that same rock again. The rock going, next time I'm going to bust you upside your head. If you're not aware, be present in the moment. See yourself clearly. All right. And because when you see yourself clearly, give yourself permission to grow, to shift, and to align with your authentic self. And that's what we're talking about. We want to be authentic. All right. And most importantly, to lead yourself from a place of truth. What did we talk about last week? Being the leader of yourself, right? A leader is aware of what's going on in their company and whatever. They're aware of it. So you, as the sole principal CEO of you, have to know, you have to be aware of what's going on with you internally. Thoughts, feelings, actions, emotions, habits, energy shifts. Feel it, know it. Because who's going to know you better than you? Nobody. Okay. I want to encourage you all to also just be very intentional about paying attention. Be intentional about paying attention, because what you pay attention to is what grows. Intention is what you want to do, right? But attention is what you actually do. So whatever you give your attention to is what then grows. So when you pay attention to you by being aware of your thoughts and your habits, right? You grow. You can have an intention, to grow. You can have an intent. I had an look. I've been started doing this self work a long time ago. I had intentions a long time ago of becoming my authentic self. It wasn't until I really started to pay attention to myself that I started to align with the intention that I had for myself. And so I encourage you all who are watching now and who will watch this later to pay attention to yourself, to see yourself clearly. All right. Because again, the formula, what's the formula? Who can tell me what the formula is? Who can tell me, math students, what the formula is for authenticity? I'm test time. Smart Video Girl said, test time. What's the formula for authenticity? I'll leave that there for a second. All right. I want to, let me see if I can bring this up. I wasn't going to do this, but I'm super duper excited. I'm super excited. Let me see if I can bring this up. I am super excited because I have a very exciting news to share with you all. All right. Okay. Test time. That's right. Test time. Okay. All right. Cortland Jones gets a lollipop. He said awareness plus alignment equals authenticity. See, this guy comes to class every day. I don't know. He comes to class. He knows. He took his notes. Okay. All right. Awareness plus alignment equals authenticity. He got it right. Very good, Cortland. Make sure you tell the people in the back. Okay. Somebody was asleep. They didn't get the memo. All right. But listen, I have this very announcement to make. I want to share this with you guys. I just want to, besides my family, I have been working on a project for a very long time. And I present to some, introduce to others, my book. I do the work, keep the faith, aligning with your authentic self is going to be out very soon. And I am so over the moon about it. I'm over the moon about it. I can't even control. I don't even know what to do with myself. So you guys are getting a sneak preview of the cover. This is the cover for my brand new book, Do the Work, Keep the Faith, which will be out next month, i.e. 3 days. In June, my book will be released. And y'all know how I get. So I'm going to take this down and remove it because I get emotional. I get so emotional. But for good reason, because I am so... I'm so proud of myself. I'm so proud of myself. I'm so proud of you. I thank you all for your support in all of this. It has really been a journey to become a published author. For those who know me, it's been a very long time. I've been trying to write this book since before Elijah was born, and I realized that I felt like I didn't have enough life. I didn't live enough life, and I've got to the point now where I'm ready. I'm here, and the book is coming. The book is coming, and you guys are here to see the cover first. So I appreciate you. I hope you learned a lot. Again, today's topic was all awareness, not authenticity. We always talk about authenticity here, but it was awareness in particularly awareness being the ability to observe without immediately reacting to your circumstances, to your situation, to things around you, to what somebody said, right? To be able to sit and to see it for what it is. And when I say what it is, meaning how did it make you feel? What did it make you think? Right? And it's not just what other people do, it's what you do too. So becoming aware, can you see yourself clearly, how you are showing up to life? How are you showing up to life? And if you can't see yourself clearly, then no one else will. And that's for facts. They're going to see you as they see you, and you will be a random character in several people's stories until you are able to see yourself clearly. All right. So thank you guys so much for tuning into the podcast today. You guys are some of my favorite people in the world. Whether I know you or not, just all right. And I will see you next week. I don't know if I'm gonna go down the A train. I don't know what we're gonna do next week, but what I do know is I will be here. We will be talking about authenticity, and yeah, that's about it. And until next week, y'all. Y'all be easy. I love you. I am Smart Video Girl, showing up authentically in all ways. Peace out.